Channel 12 Sports presents coverage of high school gymnastics. Tonight a late conference meet as the Wayzata Trojans come to Minnetonka and Hopkins High School to take on the Hopkins Royals. Hello and welcome to Hopkins. John Jacobson and Debbie Rasmussen. And Debbie, there's not a lot of season left. 3 weeks from now, these teams will be competing in section meets. Wayzata moves from section 6AA to 5AA this year. Hopkins stays in 6AA. So we're getting down to the time where you kind of got to get it, almost everything in that you're going to get in as far as difficulty of routines, so these girls can polish them up before those section meets.
Definitely. This is the time where consistency is what's really going to count here. You want to be able to perform every routine on every event to the best of its ability. It's kind of like we're done adding the new tricks in case unless there's something really special, but what you want here is the stuck beam routines, the flawless floor routines. All the vaults are, performed with as much perfection as they can have. And it's just really important at this time that you start to clean things up because the end of the season is coming up.
Wayzata's top score this year, 137.4, and for Hopkins, 129.05. And Wayzata with a lot of new gymnasts this year. They had several girls come over from club gymnastics that have added to their team. 11 new girls on their roster this year, with 13 returning. It's the largest Wayzata team that they've had in quite some time.
And that is so fun for the Wayzata program. As a coach, their numbers were getting smaller and smaller as in the past years. So here they've got a good crop of girls. They're young. They're going to be able to stay with the program for probably 4 to 5 years, which is awesome. As a coach, you really love to see that.
Meet will be getting underway in just a few moments. Hopkins will be up first on the vault. Riley O'Neill will be their first gymnast tonight. She'll be followed by Miriam Tashiyama, Brielle Richardson, Katie Leake, and Grace O'Neill. There on your left is Megan Johnson, probably obscured right now by Abby Christensen, one of the Wayzata coaches. There's Megan, fourth-year head coach at Hopkins. Really likes the girls that she's got on this team. She's got two girls, Grace O'Neill and Katie Lake, who have been part of their team for 6 years. And it's fun to have those girls and see their progression throughout their career.
That's a long time to be able to have a gymnast, but it makes it really nice for the coach because they've been able to completely form that gymnast into their program, their systems, everything that they believe in. And that's kind of unheard of, that you get to actually have a gymnast for 4 years.
Girls going through their warm-ups right now, through the 2-minute touch warm-up before we actually begin with the first competition, the first vault.
This it always just makes me incredibly nervous, the fact that the vault is so close to that wall. I don't know, coming into a school, if I was a gymnast, that would kind of be a little, distracting. But I think all the gyms are so used to that. That's where they have their vaulting course. But it's still, to me, a little close to the wall.
This is where Hopkins Gymnastics has been for years. Wayzata, of course, we've done home meets of theirs in the past, Deb. They've been at Wayzata Central Middle School since forever, since that was the high school 20 years ago. Now, next year, they will have their own space finally in the high school, a new addition going on at Wayzata High School. One of the many things is being added on at the school, and they'll have their own gymnastics, both practice space and competition space. So we'll be able to do meets from the Wayzata High School starting next winter.
That is huge because that gym is tiny.
Yeah, at the middle school, yeah.
I feel like, we're right next to the floor. If a girl stepped out of bounds, she'd be, in our lap or something. So again, just watching the warm-ups here. And before our meet starts, and we don't always get to see this, there is a 2-minute touch warm-up on every event before every event actually starts getting judged. So it looks like they're finally finished possibly with the warm-up. We're taking a look right now at the Wayzata JV team is over on the uneven bars. So while the varsity competes on an event, the JV competes on the other event. Always bars and vault go first, beam and floor go second.
And with the more girls that are competing this year for Wayzata, more chance for some of them to compete in junior varsity. You only have 5 spots on the varsity on each apparatus that you can put out there for a particular meet.
Yep, and then, that makes the JV team, they can have a lot more than just 5, and which is a nice thing, because if you're only taking 5 spots on the varsity, at least the girls can still be part of the program and be able to still compete and work towards taking one of those varsity spots.
And there's a look at Carly Holden. She's now in her 6th year as head coach at Wayzata. We mentioned they have moved from 6AA to 5AA, made the state meet the last couple of years out of 6AA. Now we'll have a challenge in 5AA competing against Champlin Park and Maple Grove, namely the top teams in that section. Champlin Park has won it the last couple of seasons.
And that is going to be an incredible meet, just because their scores really aren't that far apart between the 3 teams. So I think it's going to be an absolute excellent section meet. A little tough for, moving Wayzata over to 5AA.
Coaches are working to get the vault set before Riley O'Neill throws her first vault. Now she gets the signal from the judge, and we are underway. There's 2 vaults for Riley O'Neill. His first highest score in this event this year is an 8.4. Little stumble on the landing.
She starts off with a half on, half off. She just kind of over-rotated it, which causes her body to fall forward just a little bit. Here is the half on. She pushes to the half off. Feet just get kind of underneath her, which causes her to take those 2 big steps. On her second vault, she's going to try to block just a little bit harder, so she gets a little bit more height and is able to just kind of float that vault down.
First vault is 7.8.
Beautiful second vault. Should definitely score better. Had a nice landing. You'll see here she gets just a little bit more height coming off of that vault. She's able to complete that half twist. Not a step there. Good job.
Miriam Shiamba is next up for Wayzata. For Hopkins. Second vault for Miriam scored a 7 point, for Riley scored a 7.9. Miriam's high score in the vault, 8.425 this season.
She does a beautiful half on, half off. And what's so great about this is the afterfly. Watch the distance that she travels from that vault, which is adds just a little bit extra to the score. She had great body position and had a lot of distance on that afterflight. Nice vault.
Looks like this one will score in the 8s. Yes, an 8.25 for Miriam Shiamba. Here's her second vault.
Got a nice strong run. Again, just a beautiful, beautiful vaulter. The distance that she travels on that afterflight is really, really impressive. You'll see here again, nice pre-flight, beautiful twist, floats down to that landing and just that step.
Next up, Brielle Richardson. Her high score, an 8.45. Second vault scored an 8.2 for Miriam, so her first vault 500ths of a point higher, so that's the one that will count for the team score. Now here's Brielle's first run at the ball.
Den does the half on, half off. Great form throughout the entire vault. Doesn't have the distance on the afterflight, but her form is fabulous. You can tell her legs are straight together and just kind of over-rotated a little bit and had to take that big step. A beautiful body position on this vault.
Her first vault, an 8.3. Now Brielle's Richardson's second vault.
Again, just another exceptional vault. She has straight arms, straight legs, body position's fabulous. You'll see here, form is great. Nice job.
.25 in vault 2. Katie Leak is next. Katie is a senior. Her high score in this event this season, an 8.4. This was a gymnast that Coach Johnson told us had aggravated an existing elbow condition last year. Was forced to have surgery at the beginning of the year, pretty much missed all year. They weren't sure if she was going to come back, but she's come back and has been better than ever. Gotten higher scores in all of her events to become one of the better varsity all-arounders. Nice to see her come back from an injury. Decide, as a senior, you could say, I'm going to focus on academics or just have fun. And instead, she came out for the team and is doing quite well.
Well, and that was a great first vault for her. She does a handspring full. She has great body position and a very nice landing on this vault.
Scores an 8.35.
You can tell there's more girls on the Wayzata team because they're really cheering over there for their JV team, which is nice, but you can hear them in the background.
Katie Leak's second vault.
Gorgeous second vault, stuck landing on that, and just a beautiful, I think this should score a little bit higher than the first.
She was excited about it.
Yeah, she has a great block, nice full twist, and that's the way you want to end a vault. Just stuck, no steps. Nice salute to the judges, good vault.
Scored an 8.375, so it's very close to her high score for the season. There's that Wayzata outburst from the JV bar.
I'm not exactly sure what she did, but I believe she made a glide kip, I think, and that's maybe a first time for her, so that's pretty fun.
Last up for Hopkins is Grace O'Neill. Her high score in the vault this season, an 8.8.
Grace doing a Sukahara vault there, and during warm-up, she under-rotated it. So this time, lots of energy, over-rotated it just a little bit and ended up having a little bit of a fall on the back end of that. You'll see that the coach was standing there, and they are allowed to stand there. There's not a deduction unless he actually touches her, and I couldn't tell if that was the case or not. It did look like it was, but he's there just in case she's going to under-rotate. Then he's going to step in and add a little extra push, but let's see if she can stick this one.
Hold up on her run.
Yep, usually you can, a foot is off or you started on the wrong foot. The fact that she did not jump on the springboard, she does get a second try at this. So it's not like they're gonna, if she were to have jumped on the springboard, touch the vault, then this becomes a voided vault and she only gets scored for the first one. This is a little nerve-wracking just because now you're gonna attempt it again.
Grace is the older sister of Riley O'Neill, who we saw first up on the vault. Her first vault here tonight, an 8.4. Here's vault 2.
There you go. I thought they looked alike, and that was like, wow, does she go again? But now, older sister, very good. That particular vault did a really nice job, got some great height, and just barely wasn't able to stand that up, but still, good vault for her.
We'll wait and see what her score will be. Looks like an 8.5 from one judge and an 8.4. So an 8.45 for Grace O'Neill's second vault.
And
Hopkins through with the first rotation. Wayzata's varsity coming up on the vault in a moment. We'll take a break. And we're back with more Lake Conference Gymnastics from Hopkins High School after this.
Sharing your passion starts with taking that first step. Take Will, for example. His first step was taking free TV classes at Northwest Community Television. He's learning production skills and now has access to cutting-edge equipment. He's working on local music productions, meeting new people, and gaining experience needed to produce his own show. Best of all, he's sharing his passion for music with others in his community. Share your passion. Visit nwct.org.
John Jacobson along with Debbie Rasmussen. We are back at Hopkins High School. Wayzata getting set to go on the vault. Lauren Osterberg leading us off.
Lauren starting out with a half on vault. Didn't add that extra half twist at the end, but beautiful vault. She's got great height on the front side and great distance on that back side.
Lauren is
the vault.
Excuse me, Deb. Lauren's a freshman, a top scorer in the vault this year, an 8.25. And vault number 2.
Again, just another really solid half on vault. She's got great distance, a tinier step on that backside, so she should probably get a little bit higher of a score. Here you'll see beautiful form. And when you watch it in slow motion, I love all of a sudden you see this beautiful toe point. Kind of an important thing in this sport, and looks really well.
First vault was an 8.025. The second one, 8.075. And now Rachel Teasty.
Rachel did a handspring with a half twist. I thought during warm-up she was putting a full twist on that and maybe just wasn't able, you can kind of tell, just kind of maybe didn't go quite as planned. We'll see. She had, nice position, but didn't quite make that second half of the vault.
Rachel's first vault, 7.625. And now vault number 2 for the junior.
Okay, there got that full twist around, but wasn't able to control the landing, but still was able to complete the back half, the full twist you'll see here. Just almost makes it fully rotated. Not quite. But great distance on the backside of that.
Emily Lobin, the senior all-rounder for Wayzata, will be up next. Score of 8.0 for Rachel Teasley's second vault. Emily Lobin, her top scorer this year, 8.65.
Doing a handspring full. Nice job on that. Beautiful form. Just a little bit of an over rotation. Has to take that step forward. Be a small deduction for that. Otherwise, very nice vault.
Emily's second vault coming up. Score of 8.4 for her first one.
Very, very nice second vault. She was able to stick that landing, had great body position again, and nice distance. Here she goes. Blocks really nice. I don't even know if you could call that a little deduction on that step. It was more like a little, I don't know, foot adjustment maybe. How's that?
Right. Sounds better than
it does
a bobble
than a bobble or correction or a step.
Scored just a little bit higher, 8.45. Grace Trainer is up next for Wayzata. She is an 8th grader. Also an all-rounder.
Oh, I like the ribbons. I didn't realize they have their names on them. Beautiful, beautiful Yurchenko. You can tell how excited they are with that one. It was during warm-up. She just did a couple of timers, so you weren't quite able to tell the power that she's got on this. Look at her. She is shocked, too. I think very, very, very nice job. But, boy, did she get close to the wall there. That makes me a little bit nervous when you're, you know, watching that and stuff.
Well, one thing we mentioned right at the outset was how Wayzata and Coach Coach Holden had said that, you know, they're starting to add more difficulty, new tricks to some of their routines. Well, there's one there. Her top score this year coming in was an 8.2. The difficulty she added 7/10. That was an 8.9 right there for Grace.
I think that, to be honest with you, too, I ought to put that up at least in the 9s. That was a beautiful vault. I mean, granted, I know she you know, went a little bit crooked, a little bit towards the wall, but I think any time you can stand up this Yurchenko, I think you should get in the 9s. You know, but I'm not a judge. But I should be. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know that she's going to do a second one. Looks like the coaches are working on adjusting the vault for the 5th competitor, Andy Poles. And so, again, you're not required to do a second one if you're happy with the first one.
You're happy with the first one, absolutely.
So Andy Poles will be the 5th and final competitor, and here's her first vault.
She was doing this in... Now, we watched her warm up with the same vault we just saw the Yurchenko. She did it in the pike position. On this particular one, obviously something just didn't feel right for her, and she just did the front part of this vault, which is the round off back handspring. You could tell she was way back on the board. The white line on the springboard is where you get the most amount of power from the springboard. So she was about a good half a foot in front of that. So she is definitely going to try to adjust the run. I mean, she is starting as far back as you can. So you hope that there's enough room in the gym for her to actually do the run that she's used to. So we'll see here. Okay, she was still a little bit back on that springboard, but she does this vault in a pike position, which adds to the difficulty. You could tell she was a little short on that. Might be a little bit of a sting in those ankles, but in the pike position, it just really makes that a little, you know, adds to the difficulty. You'll see right there, she was about maybe a little bit closer to that white line on the springboard, but and it could be she likes to run farther, and maybe there's just not that amount of room in the gym, but it was a beautiful vault.
And with more difficulty, she does get a higher score. See, an 8.5 from one of the judges. Actually, I haven't seen the second score post yet, so we'll hold on just a moment here.
And you know, it looks like they're having a conference. I think it should be higher than the 8.5. I mean, she may have touched her hand a little bit on the ending there, but, you know, in looking at it on the replay, it looked like she landed it okay. I mean, she was a little bit short on it, but it doesn't look like she had that fall. So I'm surprised that wasn't a higher score than that.
And she has scored in the 9s this year, in the 9.275. It's been her high in this year in the vault. And usually on the vault there's not this long of a conference. Now the judges looks like they've settled on a score, but that's usually an event that we don't see much for judges conferences. Now the score posted 8.85 for Andy Poles' second vault.
I'm wondering if she did touch her hand a little bit on that landing to get that type of deduction, because I thought it was a pretty decent ball, but definitely more deserving than the 8.5.
We'll take a break and come back on Even Bars for Wayzata next. More gymnastics from Hopkins High School after this.
by something from some gaming site?
What do you mean?
Yeah, look, there's a bunch of different charges on here.
Do you think someone stole our credit card information?
I don't know. That site sounds familiar, though.
Yeah, isn't that the site that Billy's on all the time?
You don't think.
Billy! Stop and think before you connect. Playing online is serious business. Visit dhs.gov/stopthinkconnect for tips on how to be safe online.
On parent night at Hopkins High School, Wayzata and Hopkins through one rotation. There's your score. Wayzata 34.275 on the vault, and Hopkins 33.375. We'll see Wayzata again here now. They will be up on the uneven bars. Emily Loven will lead it off, followed by Rachel Teasty, Lauren Osterberg, Grace Trainer, and Andy Poles.
The competition may begin.
Watching them in warm-ups, this seems to be a pretty strong event for them, so it'll be fun to see.
Emily's one of the 3 senior captains, along with Andy Poles and Greta Fust.
Started off with a kip into a switch kip. Unfortunately, there had a little bit, she lost a little bit of her swing for her long hang kips, but was able to recover from that. Very nice layout flyaway dismount. And just on that release move, you try to, you want to have a little bit of swing so that you can make that long hang kip, and it looks like she kind of just came to a dead hang, which makes it really difficult to do that. You see, there's a beautiful free hip back hip circle, nice cast, and a very nice layout flyaway dismount.
Rachel Teasty will be up next.
Bars is one of my favorite events to watch, but was one of my least favorite events to participate in. But I love when you get a good bar routine and it flows and all the connections are made and a beautiful landing. It's just kind of a work of art. It's real pretty.
Is the equipment changed much from the uneven bars?
Extremely.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've talked about the floor and how it's much more of a springboard effect. That,
yep.
You know, on the bars, it's
the bars
much
are
different.
actually they're like fiberglass. You know, they have more bounce, they have more give, and they're way farther apart than we used to work them. But they're more giving to a gymnast body, which is nice. They have a lot of spring to them.
Here's Rachel Teasty now. Emily Loven's score at 6.75.
Beautiful routine for her, and one of the things that judges are looking for is just the flow of the routine. She doesn't have any stops, any breaks. It's just one move right into the next. Beautiful flyaway dismount. For her, she does that in the tuck position. You see here, she just long hang kip, free back hip circle, nice tuck, flyaway, good landing for her. I mean, even the balance beam has changed so much. We used to have a wood balance beam. Now they have a little bit of padding. They have a nice suede covering to it. I mean, I would like to be young and do gymnastics now. I might have been a little better. When I competed in Augsburg for college, it was when the first spring floors started to come about, and that was, back in the 80s. But we didn't have one at that school.
Lauren Osterberg is up next. 8.075 for Rachel Teasty, by the way, on her bar routine. And there's the dismount from Lauren.
Nice job. It was our first look at these tricks called giant swings, where you cast the handstand on the high bar and you kind of go all the way around. You'll see here, big cast up to that handstand, swings back up to that handstand, does 2 in a row, and a beautiful layout flyaway dismount. Nice, nice landing. This routine had a little bit more difficulty in it because of the giant swings that she performed, and just had a great landing on that flyaway dismount.
Grace Trainer is next. Score of 8.275, a season high for Lauren Osterberg.
Grace starting out facing in a different direction, does a beautiful release move there, has a tiny touch of her feet on the bottom, be a small deduction, and here is her version of her giants. She does 2 of them. Double back flyaway. Hard to believe she is just an 8th grader. That was an excellent routine. One of the more difficult dismounts that you'll see in any competition at the high school level. You'll see here she goes into a long hang kip cast. This is a release move. She goes flying over the low bar. Does a squat on. Long hang kip. She casts into those 2 giants. There's the first one, second one. And now that double back dismount, which is huge. Excellent landing.
Recovered nicely from the scuffle on with her feet on the low bar and really finished strong. Her high score has been the team's high score in this event this year. Had a 9 in a meet earlier this year. We'll see where this one lands her as Andy pulls.
I think anytime you throw a double back, I mean, I know things have changed and judging gets more difficult and you have to have harder tricks every single year, but that was beautiful. I would hope that would be in the 9s, and now we're going to have another. Oh, looks like they might have agreed to it.
I think they had a miscommunication on what the score was going to be, and we'll score just under 9 at 8.875. And now here's Andy pulls.
Unless they took off more for that deduction. She has the same release move again, tapped her feet a little bit on there. Here's her long hang, her giant swings. And she doesn't have not seen that in I can't tell you how long, a full twisting flyaway. I didn't expect that. I love that. You'll see here she goes for her release move. She does a half twist over the bar. There's just a tiny touch of the feet there, does the squat on. We're gonna cast into those giants. First one, tiny little form break there, but this was beautiful. I don't know if I've ever seen a full twisting flyaway. That was fun.
We'll see where Andy's score lands. See an 8.65 and an 8.5 from the other judge. So an 8.575 for Andy Pull. Second to Grace Trainer for the high score for Wayzata. Time for another break. Hopkins varsity up next on the bars. More gymnastics from Hopkins High School after this.
All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Hopkins girls getting ready to go on the uneven bars now. Katie Leake will be up first. She'll be followed by Grace O'Neill, Ruby Greedle, Kaya Pratt, and Brielle Richardson.
Again, we've got that loud JV team on the vault. Very fun.
Katie Leake getting all chalked up before she goes.
The chalk that they're using actually helps them to stick on the bars. The hand grips that they use help to prevent ripping on the bars.
See a lot of girls use them, but not everybody.
Not everybody,
Yeah.
yep. They also have these little dowels underneath the fingertips, so they create kind of a hook that helps the gymnast hold on better. Starting off there with that long hang kip, and again, that release move over the low bar. She does a free hip back hip circle into another long hang kip. Tuck fly away. Nice job. Seems a little relieved that that one's over. This release move is a lot more scary than it actually appears. She's gonna half twist, kind of fly over that low bar. Right here does her squat on, long hang kip, a free hip back hip circle, which basically just means you do a back hip circle, but your hips don't touch, and a nice tuck flyaway dismount. Good start for Hopkins.
Grace O'Neill will be up next. Katie Leak's high score, 7.575. We'll see where this one lands her. Grace has been as high as 7.625 this season. Hopkins' goal from the beginning of the season is to hit the 130 mark. The high this year, I talked about in the pregame, 129.05, so not far away at all.
And I'm sure, as the Wayzata team also, you're trying to add difficulty as the year goes on. But like we said in the beginning, this is about the time when you want to be like, okay, let's really clean up these routines and get the highest score possible.
Now Grace O'Neill, after Katie Leak, scored a 7.3.
Her high bar work, long hang kip. Tuck flyaway dismount, good landing. We talk about all the time how we want bars to flow and form to be consistent. Judges want straight legs, straight arms, and you'll see here one move goes right into the next without any stop or hesitation, which is exactly what we're looking for. And there's that flyaway dismount to a nice landing.
Ruby Greedle will be up next. 7.875, that's a season high for Grace O'Neill.
Ruby starting out with a kip cut catch, which is a release move with one of the requirements on the bars. Beautifully done, and here is her high bar work. Long hang pullover, rear uprise, long hang pullover, tuck flyaway dismount. Just a tiny little step on the landing. Good routine. You need to do release moves. You need to do change of directions. And here you'll see here she does a kip, cut, catch, does a switch kip, which there's a release move, there's a change of direction, all in one opening sequence, which is good. Here's that rear uprise. Into the free hip back hip circle, long hang kip, nice tuck flyaway dismount.
Taya Pratt will be up next. Excuse me, Deb.
Her and the coach seem pretty happy with that one.
And scored a 7.925. That's a season high for Ruby. So the last two girls have each hit season highs. And now Taya Pratt, whose high score in this event is an 8.0.
During the season, that's what you want. Every meet to get a higher score, get a little bit stronger. Beautiful routine for her. She just floated into that dismount. There was no steps on that landing. And again, great form, and just this move goes right into that. She does a long hang kip, or a kip, then she does a switch kip, back hip circle, cast into her squat on. Long hang kip, free hip back hip circle into another long hang kip, cast. You can't do a dismount much better than that. It was beautiful.
A lot of young gymnasts in this meet, including Kaya, who's just an 8th grader. And she hits her high score, 8.05 for the season. Brielle Richardson, the final gymnast for Hopkins. Her high score this year, 8.075. Both Brielle and Grace O'Neill received all section, all conference awards, and previous seasons.
Whoa, hang on there. A little bit more difficult than standing on the balance beam, but there is her rear uprise into free hip back hip circle, long hang kip, and again, another long hang kip cast, tuck flyaway dismount. There'll be a little bit of deduction for the break that she had doing that squat on, and I mean, you can be off more than, there you go, see shoulders are back, she's fighting really hard to save that. The deduction is bigger if you fall versus have a few little bobbles. Nice recovery for her, and then she does a beautiful tuck flyaway dismount.
Overall, good scores for Hopkins on where they've been for the year and where they finished tonight. 7.5 the score for Brielle Richardson, so that little bobble on the low bar definitely made a difference in her score. With that, we'll do it for this rotation. We'll take another break. We'll see the Royals again up on the balance beam. More gymnastics continuing on 12 Sports after this timeout.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
Back at Hopkins, we are ready to start varsity beam competition. Sydney Schaefer is up first for Hopkins. Our first look at Sydney this evening. Her top score in this event this year, a 7.5.
Beautiful front walkover into a little bit of a dive cartwheel there. Very nicely done. Nice jump series, adding a half twist to that increases the difficulty for that. Three-quarter twisting jump into a foot. That was beautiful.
Able to hang on.
She had a great connection on that, so she should receive full difficulty, if not even, I don't know if they still have the bonus points for that. Should be very happy with that routine. Nice back flip dismount to a stuck landing. Looks like the whole team is pretty excited. I think it would be hard to sit for the first hour. There's her walkover into the cartwheel. Nice job. And here's your back flip dismount. Great height. You know, she appeared she was a little bit close to the beam, but it was so high that her head was actually above it even when she went for the landing.
Sydney did compete JV on vault and bars. This is her lone varsity event.
I see. Well, good. I just didn't want her to have to be sitting around for an hour.
Kat Tondara will be up next. Kat is a gymnast that Coach Johnson told us is a senior, but just started gymnastics as a 9th grader, and 4 years, so just, it's her 4th season. Really has come along well, starting at that late of an age and be able to compete and be a varsity gymnast. Or she's scoring close to 8 on the beam as a senior.
That's really actually quite an accomplishment. A lot of these girls have been doing gymnastics since they've probably been, 5, 6, or 7 years old. To start at when you're older like that, awesome.
Sydney Schaefer's score, a season high 7.8. Now here's Kat's routine.
Does a full turn, which is a requirement. Every balance beam routine will have that in it. Nice twisting wolf jump. 2 pike jumps in a row. Great height. Yeah, usually when you're older and you're going, to start a new event, you already have the fear factor. Like when these girls are little and they start, they're not exactly afraid because you're so little and stuff. So this is very, very impressive. Was showing us a back walk over there. Unfortunately, it was just off a little bit. Beautiful split leaps and jumps there. Nice back flip dismount.
Had the fall, but otherwise seemed pleased with her routine.
Absolutely. Like I said, I'm still in shock that she has just, only been doing this. You can tell she was just off a tiny bit. When you're doing any type of tumbling situations, if you're not lined up square with that balance beam, it's very easy to have a shoulder off. Just dip to the side, and before you know it, you're standing next to the beam rather than standing on it. But great recovery, nice dismount for her.
Katie Leake will be next, her high score in 8.0. .5, the score for Kat Condare. So if not for that fall, she would have had a season high.
In the 8s, yep.
Yeah. Now Katie Leake, one of the all-arounders, top scorer in this event, an 8.0. We'll see her in the floor exercise later.
Split jump into wolf jump, very solid. Again, that beautiful wolf jump with a 3/4 twist. There is her full turn. Slight little balance check there. That'll be a tiny bit of a deduction for her. Ready for a tumbling sequence, back handspring. Nice job. A little bit to, again, beautiful twisting split jump. Getting ready for her dismount. Very nice back flip. She is happy about that one. It's a good job. There is that back handspring, and boy, that one hand almost didn't make it on the balance beam, so great recovery for her. Here's her back flip dismount. Beautiful. Nice height, good position on that landing.
Brielle Richardson will be next. We wait for Katie Leake's score. And that's a 7.625. Brie Richardson's hit as high as an 8.5 in this event. And there she goes tonight.
Hang on. Oh, she is fighting for that. The trick here is to keep that moving and don't touch that second foot. You want to do the first foot of the cartwheel and then it swings through to the second one. Unfortunately, the second one, she had a little bit of a fall there. Very solid twisting jump. Nice switch leap into twisting tuck jump. Beautiful. The does a little handstand change of direction. Nice originality to that routine. Full turn. Two pike jumps. And does a front layout off the side of the beam. Nice original dismount for that.
But she had the one fall early, but and some bobbles afterwards, but didn't let it. You know, sometimes you see one fall, lay to another or another.
Absolutely.
But Brielle able to hang on and just have the one. And we'll see how this one scores for her as we take a look at part of her routine again.
There is that dismount off to the side, which is just kind of nice and original. The mat slipped a little bit. Otherwise, I think she would have had a little bit better, you know, of a landing on that one. But it was a nice routine. And you're right, when you have that fall during the meet, sometimes it's, you kind of stop and you think, gosh, I really hope that I, you know, don't fall again. And that's always in the back of your mind. So she recovered very well.
Grace O'Neill will be next. Grace has scored an 8.75 this year on the beam. Judges are going to have to confer on the score for Brielle Richardson before Grace gets her turn up on the beam.
You know, I wonder if you, being a judge, if, you know, you put up your score and they put up their score, and do you think they just are like, oh, crap, really? Let's, okay,
what
let's
did you
talk
see
about
that I
this. Exactly. We have two judges here during section meets. When you get into the finals into state, there's four meets, four judges
yeah.
on every meet. Imagine that judges conference.
Right.
And then to start it off, you also have a head judge of every meet who at the beginning of these big meets, she judges the event with the other four to kind of set the pace and make sure that they're all on the same kind of wavelength. So like at the state meet, it's one event at a time because they have that head judge and she helps start out the scoring for that.
As you mentioned early tonight, these teams will be not competing in the same section as they have been in the past. Wayzata's kind of flipped between sections 5 and 6 through the years. They're back into section 5AA this year. Champlin Park would probably be the favorite for that meet, and Maple Grove and Wayzata right there, but probably a handful of points below where Champlin Park should land, should they hit on everything. And that meet comes up 3 weeks from tonight at Champlin Park High School.
And I certainly hope we will have some highlights from that meet, possibly, because it'll be a great meet.
Yes. Grace O'Neill is up next. A score of 7.175 for Brielle Richardson. The section meet for the Hopkins Royals will be Saturday, February 13th in the afternoon at Eden Prairie High School
this year. Doing lots of jumps with twisting elements in it. That was rock solid. I don't think we've seen anyone do that any better tonight. Full twisting tuck jump, beautiful. You know, Hopkins might not have the tumbling difficulty that we probably will see from Wayzata, but they've got the difficulty in the jumps, and they're very nice. Here's a nice job. She does that cartwheel, swings the foot all the way through, and then does a round off. Punch front dismount, solid. That was a great routine for her. You'll see she does the cartwheel, swings that foot through, plants it down, boom, round off. What makes the round off difficult is you're actually landing with 2 feet. Beam's hardly wide enough for one of them. Nice punch front dismount with a solid landing for her.
Grace seemed excited about that.
That should get a pretty good score.
Hang on for a moment. Wayzata's varsity be up on the beam in a moment. Well, let's see. We're going to have to confer if these are the actual scores. One of the girls by a judge posted an 8.65, and the other one would not posted a score yet. So we'll be in the 8s. Hang on, we're almost there.
We're
gotta flip the cards.
Flipping the cards. Wow, nice score for her. 8.95. That was a good score.
So averaging the 2 scores, it'll be an 8.8 for Grace O'Neill, and that's a season high for her. So congratulations to her. Good finish for Hopkins. On the beam, Wayzata up next. We'll take a break, come back and see the Trojans after this.
An eating disorder feels like having another person inside your head. It kind of built this wall around me.
The main thing that we needed was hope.
Your age, your gender, your ethnicity. Eating disorders don't discriminate. They can strike anyone. The National Eating Disorders Association has the information and resources to steer people and their families toward the road to recovery.
Call or visit the NEDA website today for help and hope.
John Jacobson, Debbie Rasmussen. We are back at Hopkins High School. Wayzata's varsity set to compete on the balance beam. Jessica Chow will be followed by Allison Lemin, race trainer Emily Loven, and Andy Poles. Now, I don't see Jessica's name on the junior varsity for either bars or vaults, so she might be the person who's been sitting for about an hour and a half, and now you had a quick warm-up and now up on the beam to compete.
That's when, as a gymnast, you are very thankful for that 3-minute touch warm-up that you get prior to having to go, especially when you're the lead-off gymnast on this event. I'm watching her warm up, and she seems pretty solid up there, which is a great start for Wayzata. Nice job. Cartwheel swings that foot through into a second cartwheel.
A lot of times the first gymnast can kind of set the tone for the team. You know, you get a good, solid first routine, and the other 4 will follow.
Absolutely. I mean, the first girl up might not have the most difficulty, but you want her to be your most consistent because she does need to start it off. Beautiful round off backflip dismount. Nice job. If the other gymnasts will stick their routines, usually the scores will build from 1 to 5, and that's what you want as a judge. You want that first girl up to really be solid, consistent, set a great base score, and build from there. And this dismount, if we get a chance, it was awesome. She does round off, back flip, nice landing, just a small step on the back end of that. It was very good. I don't think sitting around for an hour and a half hurt her at all. It was a good job.
Looks like a score of 8.175, which would be a high score by about 0.4 of a point for Jessica Chow. So great start for her and the Trojans. Allison Leming up next. Allison's high score this year, 9.1 in this event.
Starts with back walk over, back handspring, beautiful. What I noticed about Allison too is she spends a lot of time in the releve position, which is huge when you're on the balance beam to be up on your toes like that. Had a great connection for a back walk over, back handspring. Nice switch sleep, beautiful solid wolf jump with the twist. Hang on. She didn't fall. She did use her hands to help keep her on. That'll be a deduction. she was able to stay on the balance beam, not fall off. Cartwheel, backflip disc knot, good job. Other than that little bobble with touching the hands, that was another nice routine for Wayzata. This is huge. It's just right into each other, and that's what you want. You don't want to have to stop in between the two tricks. And here was that cartwheel, backflip. Nice job. She seems happy with that. I'm not sure what the deduction is for the hand touch. I don't know if it's a half a point like when you fall, or if it's just, 2 to 3 tenths or something.
Grace Trainer will be next. Allison with a score of 8.475. Grace Trainer getting ready. Grace's high score this year on the beam, a 9.3, which is also the team high.
Beautiful score for her. Watching her warm up, she was just solid. There's a gorgeous standing back flip. Again, she's one of those gymnasts that you forget she's just an 8th grader. She has such maturity on this event. 2 wonderful back handsprings. Absolutely no hesitation whatsoever. This is where her private club experience comes through. You can just tell how confident she is up there. And when you're in private club, number one, you're working out all year round, and number two, you're probably doing 10 to 12 beam routines in a night, and it just becomes second nature to you. You can definitely see that. That should get a really nice score. In watching her 2 back handsprings, which we'll get to take a look at in a minute, it was absolutely beautiful. They just were one right after the next. There's her full turn, just a tiny little bit of a bobble check.
Great job by Grace Trainer.
Excellent.
That was outstanding.
And you'll see it's like she's on the floor. She does back handspring, full twist, no big deal, just another day.
Emily Loven up next. And then it'll be Andy Poles. Looks like it'll score in the 9s for Grace Trainer. And yes, 9.275 to just under her season high for the season.
She's got a couple of tiny balance checks that she just needs to clean up a little bit, and she can easily be in 9.4, 9.5 range if she can stick that beautiful routine.
Now the score as it is will make her at least in the competition to qualify for state out of sections. Now here's Emily Loven. Emily's high score this year, 9.05 on the beam.
Boy, this is so nice. We watched her fall twice during warm-ups, and I don't think you can get any more solid than that. I love when she started off with that foot. It was lifted. It wasn't on the beam, so she's balancing on one foot to do those back walkovers. Nice solid round off. You're going to hear a pretty big cheer after this. Very happy with that, only because the warm-ups we saw her kind of fall a couple of times on some of the back sequence or the back walkover sequence, but it was beautiful.
One more look at
goes right into.
That was beautiful.
Yep, one right into the other. That was great. Here's your standing back flip with a full twist. Tiny step on the landing. Shoulders were just a little bit low on that, but hard enough to do a standing back flip off the beam, let alone add a full twist to it. See, here is that round off. Solid. Again, she's from a standing position. Full twist. Nice. Nice job.
And he pulls up next. Emily Lowen scoring 8.975.
Almost a 9. Darn it.
Yeah. Andy Pohl's one of the gymnasts. It's one of the veterans on this team. Has been part of their state tournament teams the last 2 years. She's all conference, all American last season. And the bars, beam, floor, and all around. All state honorable mention on the vault. Bars, beam, floor, and all around as well. So one of the girls who knows what it's like to compete in these big section meets and state meet that'll come up next month. We have a chance to go as an individual this year. Don't know that Wayzata's team will make it, being that they're in with Champlin Park and Maple Grove, but give it your best effort and try to improve and hope your numbers are there and are good enough at the end. Good routine so far here, Deb.
Yep, absolutely beautiful routine. She's got the height, she's got the tumbling difficulty. Not very many balance checks. A little tiny one there. There's the ever-dreaded full turn. Does a nice back handspring, full twist dismount. Beautiful landing. Good routine for her.
That might be her best routine of the season.
Again, it was like this here. Beautiful sequence. No hesitation in between the back walkover, back handspring. Had the balance check on that standing back flip, but other than that, this was a great dismount. Back handspring, full twist.
Got the congratulations from assistant coach Abby Christensen. Herself a former gymnast at Wayzata.
She was. We've had the privilege of watching her throughout her career. Then went on to be a diver at Iowa State and was very successful there. She's back now coaching, and I just love that when we see former gymnasts come on back and pick up a coaching position.
And he pulls a score of 8.875. She might hit a 9 with that, but a little bit under 9. Overall, a good routine, 5 routines really for Wayzata on the beam. Our final event of the night, the floor exercise. We'll see Wayzata there in a moment. Come back from our break and have more from Hopkins High School after this.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
There's our score through 3 rotations. Wayzata leading Hopkins as we move to the floor exercise. Madeline Tapper leading things off for Wayzata. She's competed JV and vault, bars, and beam. And now we get to see her tonight on the floor.
Here comes that first tumbling pass. Round off back handspring layout with a half twist. Just a little show of originality there in that back walkover, double turn. That is a jump double turn, and you have to have quite a vertical in order to get 2 turns around in that. That was good. The front tumbling pass is a front handspring layout punch front. Change of direction, doing a back shoulder roll. Here comes your third and final tumbling pass. Round up 2 back handsprings into a beautiful layout. Nice job. Great smile, too.
Good start for Wayzata on the floor with Madeline Tapper's routine.
Here's her first tumbling pass, which is a round up back handspring layout. She adds a half twist on that one, and then she does this beautiful front handspring layout. She has great height on that as well. And the final tumbling pass was the round off 2 back handsprings into a nice layout. Good form.
Rachel Teasty will be up next.
This is always the part of the meet where floor has to be the funnest event, I would think, well, it was for me, and I think it is for a lot of girls, because you really have the opportunity to just let your personality shine between your music selection, your dance movements, your tumbling. It's the last event of the day.
Madeline Tapper scoring a 7.925.
Handspring layout front to open up.
Saw Rachel tonight on the vault, and on the bars. Her top floor score this year, an 8.35.
Round up back handspring layout, great height. She's a very flexible gymnast with beautiful dance. Switch leap into full twisting tuck jump. She cuts over to the corner for her third and final tumbling pass. Round up back handspring layout. Nice job.
Well done by Rachel Teasty. Well, we'll look at her routine again, her first tumbling pass.
She opens with a front handspring front layout. There's that round off back handspring layout. Nice job. And another round of back handspring layout. She has great form on her tumbling passes. She's got nice straight legs, pointed toes, nice landings on those as well.
Grace Trainer will be up next, an 8.15 for Rachel Teasty. Grace has gotten a 9.525 on the floor this year.
Beautiful. She does front handspring 2 layout fronts. She definitely has the potential to make it as an individual in state on probably 3 of the 4 events that we've seen. handspring full twist front flip. Nice job for her second tumbling pass. A twisting switch leap. Heads in the corner for a final tumbling pass. Round off 1.5 twist to just floating like a feather, like no big deal, here I go. Excellent routine for her. Very, very nice job. Again, hard to believe she's just an 8th grader.
Very solid for Grace Trainer. Let's look at that again.
These 2 layout fronts after the front handspring. Beautiful job. This one, she does the front handspring, adds a full twist to that. Nice job. And this last tumbling pass, a lot of girls will open with. It is a 1.5 twist, blind landing, and she just, boom, floats. Nice. That should get a pretty decent score. Looks like we might have a small judges conference here.
So they'll confer on Grace's score as Emily Loban waits. She doesn't seem to be too worried about the delay. She's chatting with her friends across the floor.
Well, and you can't see, but a lot of the Wayzata gymnasts on this side are kind of doing some of the choreograph of the routine. If there's fun, cute little moves, you'll see the whole line start to do the dance movements of that. So they certainly seem to enjoy being part of a big team.
Yeah, we've seen it at some gymnasts where you can kind of tell they're just nervous, waiting for the time for the judges conference to end. Not so much for Emily here. Now she's focused and ready to go. A score of 9.35 for Grace Trainer. Not a season high, but a very, very good score. Emily's hit 9.15 in this event this season.
Beautiful, beautiful. Full twisting jump into a 1.5 twisting jump. And that all before her first tumbling pass. Beautiful. She opens up with the front handspring layout. Very nice originality in the choreography there. Second tumbling pass, round up back handspring, full twist. Very solid. In the corner for her third. Front handspring, layout, punch front. Nice job.
Fun routine, some very dramatic music.
Very
well
dramatic.
Done by Emily.
Love the choreography. It's always interesting to find out some teams have a choreographer that will come, or some of the coaches themselves have experience in that. But how much of it do the girls actually do themselves? Do they get to put their own kind of stamp on that? This opening tumbling pass was great. Front handspring, 2 layout fronts. Here she goes for her rounded back handspring full twist. Nice job, and then finally ends with the front handspring layout. We don't see a lot of girls that tumble 2 passes forward, and so far both of the Wayzata girls did that. Usually you've got 2 backward tumbling passes and 1 forward. In this case, they did only 1 back tumbling pass.
Emily Lowen, a 9.05. She's a 1/10 of a point under her season high. Andy Poles will wrap things up for Wayzata. She's hit a 9.45 on the floor this season. Could be a state meet competitor on the floor this season again for Wayzata.
You can tell this is definitely Wayzata's strongest event of the night. There's the whole line of the girls doing the dance movements. It's kind of fun. She does the front handspring layout, 2 layouts. The second layout was a little tiny bit low and had a little bit of a form break. She might get a small deduction for that, but it's such a difficult opening pass. I love that. 2 layouts, and then she steps out of that last one. Again, more dramatic music than... Third and final tumbling pass. Round off back handspring, 1.5 twist. Nice routine. She seems pretty happy with that.
Very nice finish for Wayzata and for Andy Pulls. Finish up the meet tonight. Let's take a look at a bit of that.
You'll just see the first front was beautiful. The second front, she's just a little bit low and has that little tiny form break, small deduction, but still such a difficult pass to open up with. And this I just love. It was so pretty. Layout and right into another one, and she walks out of that second one, which is fun. Here's that 1.5 twist. Nice job.
Andy will await her score. I don't know if it'll be quite mid-4s, or mid-9s rather, but would have been a little lower than I thought, perhaps. 9.175, about almost 3/10 of a point lower than where her high score of the year, but still a good routine. Second high on her team tonight to Grace Trainer of that great 9.35 score.
They both have routines that can definitely get them to the state meet. The only thing that Andy had was that form break in the lower second layout front flip. Otherwise, that was a beautiful routine.
We'll take a break and we'll come back. Hopkins will finish up the meet. They'll be up on the floor exercise when we return to Hopkins High School after this.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
The home team, Hopkins Royals, finish on the floor. Kaya Pratt will be up first for Hopkins. Season high score for Kaya on the floor, an 8.6. And here's her routine.
She literally just was the last performer for JV on Hopkins, and then, did a dismount, pretty much came over here and warmed up. Beautiful opening double pirouette handstand. Round up back handspring layout for her tumbling pass. Switch leap into full twisting tuck down. Front handspring front flip, dive roll. Nice original move there. Kind of like a side shoulder roll. Last tumbling pass, round off 2 back handsprings into a back flip. Good opening routine for Hopkins to start their last event of the night.
All smiles from Kaya and her teammates. You look at her routine again.
She starts out with round up back handspring layout. Nice job. This was her second. She does front handspring punch front flip into dive roll. And ends with 2 back handsprings and a back flip.
Kaya just an 8th grader. Well, she'll be here presumably for 4 more seasons after this. An 8.25 for Kaya Pratt. And now Katie Leak, her high score this year, an 8.6.
Nice full twisting split jump there. She does a round off into an Arabian, which is basically a half twist front flip into a forward roll after. Again, as on balance beam, gymnasts are awarded extra difficulty for adding the full twist to any of the jumps and leaps. Handspring walk out, round off tuck back for her second pass. They have to perform at least one of the 3 tumbling passes in the forward momentum, which she did. Nice handstand double pirouette, full twisting wolf jump. Last tumbling pass, round off back flip. It was so high, did a nice back roll after that. Good routine, really cute ending.
Katie Leak, second of 5 Hopkins competitors.
Let's see, here she does round off an Arabian into forward roll. Second, she does a handspring walkout, round off back flip. Her third tumbling pass, round off back flip into a back roll.
So an 8.05 from one judge. I didn't see the score on the other. Let's say 8.3. So 8.175 for Katie Leak. Now here's Grace O'Neill.
So round up back handspring layout half twist. Nice landing on that as well. Second tumbling pass, front handspring, front flip. Two full twisting jumps in a row. Third and final pass tonight. Round off 2 back handsprings into a back flip.
Real dance elements into her routine, aren't there?
And they're just so kind of cute and kitschy that I love the choreograph part of it. She seems to really enjoy herself too. Nice routine. She seems pretty pleased with that one. When a gymnast is out there and they are smiling to beat the band, that you know they're having a good time, and that just makes the judges kind of get into that with them. She opens up here with a layout, half twist. Nice job. And here's your front handspring punch front. And finally, round off 2 back handsprings, nice high tuck back.
And Grace O'Neill and Katie Lake, the last 2 gymnasts we saw, both seniors. And think about all the years they put into gymnastics here at Hopkins, their 6th and final seasons. And now, just a few more meets left for them as high school competitors.
Always bittersweet as a senior. You look forward to moving on, but if they're not going to compete again, then it's kind of a sad.
Grace O'Neill scored an 8.55. Maria Tumdara is up next. She is the 4th competitor, and 8.9 is Miriam's top score in this event this season. That's also Hopkins' top score.
She was such a strong vaulter, and you can see that coming through here on her floor routine. She's a very powerful tumbler. Again, another gymnast smiling and having a good time out there on the floor. Double twisting tuck jump, nice job. Taking a little bit of a breather there in the corner. She sets up for her 3rd pass. Round off 2 back handsprings, back layout. That's a nice routine too.
Miriam Shiamba. Nice that when the girls put their own little bit of their own personality in the routines.
They usually are able to pick their own music, and then they do choreograph. Pretty much most of the routine judges coaches might have a little bit of input and things like that, but she's just a strong tumbler. That backflip got higher the farther she went around. That was great. Nice job.
Marion Shiamba is just an 8th grader. With their final pass, scored an 8.525 for their routine. Final competitor of the night, junior Brielle Richardson.
Brielle opening up with a pass I haven't seen. It was a layout, round off layout into a back flip. Loved it. Punch front again. She's a strong tumbler. We used to call that a branny. It's like a no-handed round-off almost. Very fun to see that again. Third and final tumbling pass. A round-off back handspring into a layout. Unfortunately, she just didn't get the takeoff for that layout, and she ended up being pretty short on that last tumbling pass up until that point. Beautiful routine.
Let's see how that scores for Brielle. Look at part of her routine again. Here's that first pass.
She does a layout into a backflip. Very original. You don't see that often. Here's her second one. 2 punch fronts. There's the first one, second one. Nice job. This third one, it was just like on that back handspring. Somehow she just didn't get the right takeoff on there and wasn't able to complete the flip all the way around. They will consider that a fall, and she will get a 5/10 deduction on that. So if we, look at the score and add 5/10, that's probably what she's normally used to getting, because beautiful routine up until that.
Braille's top score this season, 8.75. This one will score in the 8s, but a little bit lower. But first, the judges that confer will find out exactly where she'll land. So we've seen tonight some good quality gymnastics. Still some things that each of these teams can clean up on and improve on before section competition, though.
I mean, both teams had great showings tonight. They're just the little things they need to clean up. The balance checks on the balance beam, the wobbles, the touching of the feet on some of the release moves on the uneven bars. But other than that, I think they should both be very happy with their performances tonight. And if our mathematics is correct, that's John's department, not mine. I think they both increased on their total team scores tonight, so coaches should be happy with that as well.
Yeah, it looks like we might have high scores for the season for each of these teams, so we'll find out that in just a few moments. We'll check with the official scoring at the table. The score for Bree Richardson, an 8.625, so not too much of a it's still a very good routine despite that the little stoppage on the third pass.
And it'll be interesting. I would love to check out to see what actually they deduct. She didn't fall, but she did touch her hand, so maybe it's not quite a half a point, just a couple of tenths here and there. But up until that point, that was a dynamite routine for her.
We'll take our final timeout. We'll come back with the final team scores, and we'll wrap up our meet tonight from Hopkins High School after this.
Sharing your passion starts with taking that first step. Take Lindsay, for example. Her first step was taking free TV classes at Northwest Community Television. Right away, she received professional training and now has the tools and skills necessary to produce her own show. She's turning dreams into realities right from her own home. And best of all, she's sharing her passion with members of her community and beyond. Share your passion. Visit nwct.org.
We're back at Hopkins High School, ready to wrap up tonight's meet, and Wayzata with a win tonight, as expected, but nice to see each of these teams, Debbie, hitting their high scores for the year. For Wayzata, it's 139.45 to 130.4 for Hopkins. They had not hit 130 yet this year. Wayzata's best had been 137.4, so they're 2 full points ahead, and for them, it's a step toward getting where they need to be if they want to win the section meet in 3 weeks.
They definitely need to be pushing the 141, 142 to even get close to Champlin. And so tonight, adding 2 points in gymnastics is a lot. Everything is, judged on a 10th here or a 10th there. So to move up 2 points, that's huge. And what a great night for the Hopkins team, too. This is what you want. As the season rolls along, you want every meet to be score higher than the meet prior to that, and they both accomplished that. And they also have some things that they can both improve on, just a little cleanups and stuck landings and some balance checks. So tonight, great meet for both teams.
And a terrific meet. Grace Trainer, the all-around champion tonight. We saw her finish up tonight on the floor exercise with the top score of the meet with a 9.35. Again, each of these teams will have a couple more competitions before they get to the section meets. And for Wayzata, that means Section 5AA on February 11th at Champlin Park High School. And for Hopkins, part of the Section 6AA meet at Eden Prairie High School on Saturday, February 13th. That'll do it for our telecast tonight. Thanks to Deborah Afterson and all of our crew. And Debbie, great to work with you again this season. We'll see you again at section time and state time coming up in February. I'm John Jacobson. Thanks for tuning in tonight on Channel 12.